what's up.
Top 10 underrated Bugs Bunny shorts.
Okay.
Um, Rabbit season, duck season short. That's
Now,
so
now you,
underrated.
you
Nobody.
you seem to have just listed off literally the most iconic Bugs Bunny short of all time. I hope you're.
No, but you don't get it. It's so underrated. It's just so underrated. And I'm gonna make a 49-minute video about it and put it on YouTube.
Well, I'm really looking forward to your analysis of the short a million bajillion people have watched.
No, that's a little exaggeration, I would say. I think that you'd be surprised how people just don't see that it's so, like, it's just a masterpiece, and it's underrated.
So if you're
And I
gonna
need to tell you
if you're gonna talk about an underrated short, can you at least talk about what's opera doc? That's one nobody talks about ever.
Yeah, no, you know what, you're right. And nobody ever talks about the, like, solemn ending to it.
Yeah.
And how sweet it is. I feel like it's so underrated that it's just, we should just change our podcast entirely to be about underrated Looney Tunes shorts.
We should talk about the top 10 underrated Looney Tune females. I love females.
I also love girls. So
Please call them females. That's the more respect.
Top underrated female Looney Tunes character, Lola Bunny. Nobody talks
Nobody
about
really
Lola Bunny,
talks about Lola Bunny. What a character.
I know, what a
In
character.
Space Jam, when the Martians get their shorts pulled down, she goes, "Nice butt," and that's a great quote.
Yeah, I think that should be on a t-shirt, and she should be doing like an eyebrow up, smirk.
With her arms are crossed.
Yeah, with her arms crossed, and says, "Nice butt." No, actually, put that on some shorts. Put it on the butt side of the shorts. Yeah, I think number 2 is Priscilla Chicken. There aren't a lot of girls in Looney Tunes, are there?
There's like 4.
Top 10. There's you know what? Hey, for all my Looney Tunes dogs fans out there, I bet a few of them are girls. There's a lot of times where there's just like a pack of dogs. I bet some of them are girl dogs. There we go.
Queens.
Representation, everybody. Queens. What do we do here again?
Well, we talk about power levels and skills of the Looney Tunes characters after we watch shorts. That's what this show's about, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like this was a weird bunch. For sure.
Abnormal, for sure.
I mean, starting off, let's just go. The Harebrained Hypnotist. It's a 1942 short. This is a game of psychological, like, warfare going on in this short. There's not a lot of just straight up, slapstick dynamite in the hand. This is mind versus mind. We really get to see Elmer and Bugs just, like, zap each other with their brain
I feel
power.
like you can't start talking about this without explaining. Elmer Fudd learns his hypnotic brain powers in this.
Yeah.
So that's a new skill of his.
Yeah, it's incredible. He uses it on a bear. He tells the bear that to act like a canary, and in doing so, I guess in the Looney Tunes universe, when you hypnotize somebody and give them a command, they suddenly gain the ability to complete that command. The bear starts flying like a bird. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a notable skill of Elmer. He could create any sort of creature he wants with his ability. He can morph others into his will. The downside, though, is he is very stupid and he cannot hypnotize Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, I guess Bugs is initially immune to the hypnosis. He kind of just thinks it's a big old joke. He doesn't really understand what Elmer is trying to do to him. And, hijinks ensue. And at one point, though, Bugs is like, oh, like, I'm going to take a crack at this. And he starts, the visual is a bunch of, like, static stuff coming out of their eyes and into the other person's eyes. It's kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like you can't talk about what happens here without talking about this is another Elmer breaks down crying short, in case you're wondering. He tries to hypnotize that Bugs Bunny, and he can't do it, and then Bugs like starts playing with him. Then Elmer Fudd slowly turns to the screen, makes the most pathetic, sad looking face of all time. And then runs away crying. The Bug's like, "All right, Doc, you can hypnotize me." Spoiler alert: he doesn't let Elmer hypnotize him.
He does not. But it's so sad. Elmer is so broken in that moment. He kind of realizes that his one ability, like he's past the realm, he's gone past his usual skill set. He doesn't have a gun or anything, he's using sheer psychic energy, and even that is not enough to combat Bugs Bunny, and it just breaks him immediately.
Bugs then hypnotizes Elmer to be a rabbit, and this is when it gets interesting, because Elmer Fudd then gains all the skills of Bugs Bunny, and we see a mirror match between the two.
It's pretty incredible, honestly.
The only time in his life Elmer Fudd has had any power whatsoever. And he's loving it. He's loving being a rabbit.
Yeah, he's pretty happy in this one. He's got this big goofy smile on his face pretty much the whole short. He's running around doing the same things Bugs was doing to him. And meanwhile, Bugs is kind of losing his cool a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Bugs is not like this whatsoever. This is kind of a we start seeing Bugs' main weakness here. He does not like having his ego tested, I would say. He's the top bug. He's the top buddy in the forest, and he's not gonna take it any other way.
I think it's like a tussle, right?
Yeah.
And Elmer and Bugs are in a hole, zapping each other, presumably trying to hypnotize each other. And then Elmer hops out of the hole and he runs off into the sunset. And then Bugs gets up and is, I guess, hypnotized into thinking he's a plane. An aeroplane, because then he gets up and he's like, I'm gonna miss like my flight, and he gets up, flies into the air, and says he's like, I forget what he says, like a B-19 or something like that, names a model, and starts flying away, and that's the
There's a lot of ways you can interpret this ending, because Elmer Fudd does run off in fear at the end. He looks scared, he looks like he lost, he looks like normal Elmer yet again. But when Bugs is hypnotized, clearly, but he's still acting like Bugs.
But I would say that might be part of, like, the hypnotism, right? Like, if he doesn't realize he's been foiled. He's been his mind has been beaten in a way.
My theory is it was a hypnotism. Bugs unhypnotized Elmer, but in the process, Elmer did hypnotize Bugs. Because Elmer is clearly meek and pathetic at the end of the short, running away.
I don't know. I think he got the final blow, finished his job, and he said, okay, well, now I gotta get the heck out of here,
I'm not willing to call this a full Elmer win. Still pathetic and meek and ran away at the end. I'm gonna say,
okay.
For me, this was a draw between them.
I'm gonna put my foot down. I think this is an Elmer win, because I think he made Bugs Bunny think he was an airplane. And I don't know how that falls into the category of, like, winning.
Now, consider this. Elmer Fudd has only given Bugs Bunny a new skill.
Let's give the gift of flight. He's made him more powerful.
He's only made Bugs more powerful in the process.
Oh, God. You might be right there. Well, we'll I'll say at most a draw, but definitely not a lose. I don't think it's a
full lose for either of them, no.
Well, I'm glad we got that, because last time we had a few that were, like, up and down, which, I think that in the end, Elmer still really hasn't gotten a full win.
No. Well,
yet. But we'll see. Okay, so next up, oh boy, it's our good friend and pal, Cecil's back in Tortoise Wins by a Hare in 1943 short. Ooh.
Nice short.
Oh, Cecil, it's so good to have you on the show. How you feeling?
Wow. This podcast is like a shitpost, man.
Yeah. Is it? Sometimes I feel that way too, Cecil. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, bye.
God, I fucking hate that guy.
bitch, I
So this is very similar to the other Cecil short, where Bugs, when he has this, great moment at the beginning where he's just, like, losing it, like, completely.
They animate his teeth in such beautiful detail during it. It's great.
And it's very similar to, like you were saying, when Bugs feels like he is not in control or confident enough to complete something, he just loses. Like, he loses immediately. It's just no contest here. You just know from the beginning, no matter what Bugs does, he's already lost, because he can't keep a cool head. And you know who can keep just a icy, spring breeze cool head? That's Mr. Cecil Turtle. That's a cool guy.
Cecil Turtle's the only one of Bug's foes that really, like, knows how to tackle his Bug's biggest weakness. But so Cecil Turtle, he fools Bugs Bunny basically into he kind of is aware of Bug's scheme. He's like, right. he basically forces Bugs to become a turtle. So all of Bugs Bunny's bunny entourage will attack him instead of Cecil, and Cecil puts on this amazing disguise. You can't even tell it. So I was fooled looking at it.
Yeah, I thought that was Bugs Bunny when I saw Cecil in the bunny costume. It was the craftsmanship. Hey, have you ever seen that movie Master of Disguise?
I love it. Classic.
I think that Cecil is that guy in that movie. He's turtle. Turtle.
Am I turtle enough for the Turtle Club?
Turtle Club.
Classic cinema.
Classic movie.
New characters worth talking about in this short. A lot of Looney Tunes characters have sidekicks of sorts. Elmer has his 5,000 dog characters. Porky had a few of those too. Bugs Bunny now has a bunny entourage, including the Mafia.
Yeah.
which is notable because it's his new sidekick characters. I'm sure for sure.
Yeah, they'll definitely make more appearances. I mean, okay, actually, at the end of this one, like 3 of them shoot themselves in the face and fall over dead. So I don't know.
These are violent bunnies too. They have like grenades and guns, and they're trying to blow Bugs Bunny up, and he's begging them to stop. Like Mel Blanc putting on the voice performance of a lifetime, begging these outrageous bunnies to stop.
He's like, I'm the rabbit.
Bugs Bunny does have also amazing engineer skills. He can build a shell. Worth noting.
Yes, he was working on that shell. He put himself in a little swim cap just to make himself more
turtley.
Yeah, Turtle Club. I feel like anybody who hasn't seen Masters of Disguise is gonna not understand.
Now the problem is you're implying the entire world hasn't seen Master of Disguise. It's the best-selling film of all time. It was Master of Disguise sweep. Everyone's seen it.
So it's the only movie in the world that's not going to get a 40-minute YouTube essay about what an underrated
everyone's seen it.
Was.
Everyone knows it's great. Everyone knows it's classic. It's Turtles for the Turtle Club. I definitely know other things that happened in that movie.
Yeah, you know everything else that happens in that movie, right?
Of course.
Remember the cow pie? You remember the cow pie?
There's definitely no racist disguises in that movie.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That movie is so woke and PC.
It's kind of a feminist piece, too, for being honest.
Yeah, if we're being
I remember Looney Tunes. I think season...
Yeah, hey, Bugs Bunny lost this one.
One of this one.
No fucking surprise, though. I mean, for real. Cecil is just untouchable. What are we gonna do with him? I'm kind of scared. Like, Bugs has managed to either draw or flat out just completely dominate everyone he's been put up against, except for this one guy. I feel like I'm shaking.
You know,
what are we gonna do?
You know who Cecil Turtle probably couldn't defeat?
Who?
Cecil Turtle plays into characters' egos. Looney Tunes characters tend to have huge egos, like Daffy and Bugs.
True.
I think Cecil would have nothing on Porky.
Ooh, a Porky Cecil matchup. Now that would be something fun to watch. You're right, though. What would he poke at? What would he prod at? Porky already thinks so low of himself.
He's so meek and pathetic and thinks so lowly of himself already. Cecil would have nothing on that pig.
I think he could get him angry, though, if he really tried. Yeah, but Porky is the strongest when he's the angriest. Like, you don't want to make Porky mad, because then he beats the shit out of you.
Porky's rage meter he has that fills up over the course of the match, you don't want to get that filled.
Yeah, that'll be a devastating blow. Well, rest in peace, Bugs Bunny, but we're done with you, because guess who's back in town? It's Mr. the Duck.
Yeah! He's
back. Woohoo! In To Duck or Not to Duck, a 1943 one. Woohoo.
So at the start of this short, we start with, as I wrote in my notes, Daffy Duck walking through the sky gaily and free.
Very good.
He then gets shot by our dear friend Elmer Fudd. And it should be worth noting, he would have kept going if he didn't look at his butt and notice he was shot. Daffy can only feel pain when he wants to. So that's worth noting. He then
all right, write that down.
He then falls to the sky. And who else do we meet? Than another Looney Tunes dog character.
Larabor! It's Larimore. I don't know if that's his actual name, but that's what they call him sometimes. It's another Looney Tunes dogs. I'm just going to take the center stage here for a second here. Larimore, he's a brown hound dog, I assume. You know, typical hunting dog. He's very supportive of Elmer. He stands against the crowd even when he's the only one. You know, I think that he's fights for justice and what's right, and that's very powerful.
He's kind of a free spirit character, you know?
Yeah, you know what, you're
he
right.
He doesn't follow the mob mentality. He goes for what his heart says. I think that's...
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Well, Daffy is pissed off because he doesn't feel like he and Elmer have had a fair fight, you know? He might have a bulletproof vest on.
Write that down, he has a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, but... You know, that's not fair. And so they're going to have a little boxing match. And just can I just say that everyone in the crowd they love
Oh my
Daffy.
god.
Like, I didn't know.
This guy putting the match on, like, he loves Daffy Duck so much. He coddles him. He, like, gets up on him. He just, like, gives him a huge hug. He talks about how much he's all love him. He's Daffy good to his mother Duck. This guy loves fucking Daffy Duck.
He does. And it's kind of funny because I didn't think Daffy was much of a, I don't know, like a crowd favorite, even amongst his own kind. Because I feel like, remember the doctor short, that kind of weird one? It kind of implied that, like, Daffy was kind of, like, weird. Like, he's not normal compared to his fellow Duck. So I didn't know.
I think we're seeing a bit of a character arc. Daffy starts at the bottom. Nobody likes him. He's but, you know, as his shorts become more popular, like, out of the in-universe, they all start to love him again. But that's not going to last very long. We all know Daffy Duck might be taking a bit of a fall later. Popularity in universe.
So we'll see.
We're seeing him here at the apex of his loved popularity.
And through the short, Elmer, he's being a pretty good sport. He's getting beat up on, you know. They're doing, you know, funny gags on him, like, oh, so you don't want us to be roughhousing too much, doing any of this, and then they fucking elbow Elmer in the stomach. Like, oh, no, nothing like that, and they do it again.
He's being an outrageously good sport for, like, what's going on. He's like, he's just being nice about it. He's like, oh, gee, fellas, what's on?
And I'm gonna be honest here. I think at the end here, Elmer, he kind of, like, meekly goes up to the announcer and he's like, hey, you know, I don't mean to complain here, but, you know, this is not what the rules, right? And then he starts doing the same gags to them, like, starts just beating up on them, and the short fades out. And I feel like that's kind of an Elmer win.
I consider that an Elmer win. My stance with wins is whoever's on top at the very end for me. It doesn't matter what happens throughout the short. Elmer gets his shit kicked throughout the short, but at the very end, the one on top. And to me, that means this is an Elmer win. Now, is it an impressive win? Did he do a lot? No, but did he win?
No.
He did win.
In fact, he kind of, I feel like, almost won on a technicality, because who knows what happens after he's done, you know, beating up on them.
Well, obviously,
you know, maybe
his dog character then takes him off, and they...
Oh, you know what? You're right. Larimore definitely, like, after they've fallen down, Larimore jumps down from the stands. He like, Elmer gets on him like a horse.
Yeah.
And they ride off into the sunset. That's exactly how the short ends. Thank you.
That's how it went for real. Like, after the screen fades.
I'm gonna propose this then. Since the Looney Tunes dog character here is an ally to Elmer Fudd, I'm going to count this as also a Looney Tunes dog win. He was there by his side.
I guess
he was there helping him out.
I guess so. Yeah, this is a Looney Tunes dog character win. Everyone home, I know you have your chalkboard where you keep chart of this, and you keep it by your computer, and you wait all week for this new Looney Duels upload, and you sit there vibrating. You have Looney Tunes dog written down with nothing, no crosses under it. You're waiting there vibrating. You can finally pick up your piece of chalk and write one.
And this is a definite Elmer win. This isn't even a debatable one, I would say. Well, that's good for him. You know, happy birthday, Elmer. You got to win. You did it, buddy. Pal. I'm proud of you. And I don't know if we really learned anything new about him, though, skill-wise. I feel like he really didn't do much except, like, shoot a gun
You know,
once.
we learned he's got a bit of an arm when he wants to.
Yeah, okay. He's got some force behind a punch.
Yeah,
there we go.
We learned that.
So this last one, I don't know what to say about it.
Now, I should note, when I was writing these down, because I picked all the episodes out, I just kind of, if I saw two names that I felt were like, okay, these are important characters, I just put it on the list. I did not consider what actually happened in these shorts, so sometimes we end up with shorts like Yankee, Doodle, Daffy, where no one's really fighting. It is just Daffy Duck being a bit of a nuisance towards Porky for a bit.
And don't forget his son.
I think it's his nephew.
Little nephew character, Sleepy Lagoon.
Great new character we've been introduced here.
So the premise of this is Porky's like a talent scout or something, right? Like he runs a big business of some sort, which I feel like we see Porky a lot in these like successful roles. Like he's doing well for himself. He usually has a house and like a job. Like Porky does well when you leave him alone for a second. And Daffy's just a agent, and he's trying to push Sleepy Lagoon onto Porky by telling him all about his great act that he totally has and just performing for his life. And that's pretty much the whole short.
Well, I think we learned something very important about Daffy in this short that I think will actually be very important for his stats.
Okay.
Daffy Duck is a theater kid, which means he's a lot more punchable than most Looney.
I think that's why his fault from Grace ends up happening is he kind of strays away from being psychotic or whatever he's supposed to be and kind of veers more towards like annoying theater kid who's gonna like sing his show tunes in your living room.
That's why,
because he can.
That's important because now we know why all the Looney Tunes want to kill him.
That's why. And the way it ends is Porky just kind of exasperated. He's like, hey, okay, fine. Like, let me see what the kid can do. And the little kid, by the way, has been just licking this big lollipop the entire short. Finally puts it away, sings a beautiful song, and then it just ends. So, who? I don't know.
I don't know. This is a neutral for me. I think they both are fine at the end of this. Who cares? It's fine. Daffy Duck can fly a plane, and also he's made of air. That's two important skills to remember.
Yeah, he's a pilot. Which I neglected to mention this in the last one, but it started out with Daffy flying and stuff, and sometimes I forget that Daffy can fly because he's a duck.
I think he loses that ability as the years go on. So that's a short.
Yeah, I think when they stretch him out a little bit, he can't fly as much.
That's an ability he has in his prime. He does not have it in later years.
Yeah, because we've already seen Bugs kind of stretch out to his normal height. Like he's Bugs size now, like typical Bugs Bunny size. Daffy is still kind of in that growing phase where he's not quite like the same height as Bugs. He's still kind of little.
Yeah,
he's still kind of a little guy, so he can fly a little easier, I think.
Still shorter than Elmer right now.
Yes, and Elmer's kind of small, so that should tell you. Well, that's all the ones we watched, yeah?
Yeah, but I can read some YouTube comments real quick from the last episode.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not an actual comment, my girlfriend Rosa wrote, "How hard do you think Bugs?"
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
How
hard do you think Bugs?
Good statement, Rosa. Love ya. Thank you.
Another not question comment I like. Elmer sitting in the sand crying.
Somebody get on that. Just edit SpongeBob out of one of those pictures and put Elmer Fudd crying in there.
Here's the first actual comment we have an opinion on. Do you think Bugs and Daffy are meant for each other? Please say yes.
Well, you're really leading the question there with that comment. Do you mean meant for each other in a romantic sense, or destined rivals? Destined just like to chase each other in circles forever? Because either way. Sure.
I'm gonna disagree. I don't think Looney Tunes shorts Bugs and Daffy could really make it work, like romance wise. I don't think that. I think as the years goes on, I think Daffy has harboring sexual feelings towards Bugs, but I don't think Bugs will ever return those feelings at all.
Yeah, and I've always been more of a Porky Daffy kind of guy. I think there's some stuff that could work there. I think that Daffy definitely could feel something towards Bugs and then kind of deny it, deny it so
like I
much
said, the sexual tension between those two is insane. I just don't think he returns the feelings.
No, Bugs has a bigger fish to fry, I suppose.
Exactly. Here's a comment from Paintra CP.
Oh, God.
Can you add a segment to these where you two do a Looney Tunes impression face-off? Choose one Looney Tune per episode, do an impression face-off, possibly using shorts you just watched. I think Bugs ending up in jail doesn't rule out his victory. From the perspective of those being duels, Elmer is the clear loser. Bugs the only bit to further torment him, I imagine. And that's referring to the short we last watched time. What do you think about his suggestion here about the voice stuff?
I think what my initial thought upon reading the comment was, Seep wants to embarrass us so badly. There's no other way around it. Secondly, I think there's maybe about 2 Looney Tunes I could voice. I think I could do a decent Marvin, and I could probably pull off a Foghorn at most.
Let's do it right now. This is the only time we're ever do this segment ever.
Okay, wait, hold on, what's the segment called?
Looney Tunes, like voice. Like tunes come out of your mouth. It's called Looney Tunes. That's the name of this segment.
That's how it's spelled. That's how it's normally spelled.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's called Looney Tunes. The segment's called Looney Tunes. Now do your voice.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you do the what's his name? The vulture guy, not the vulture. Yeah, vulture.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, do him.
Okay.
Do him. Yeah.
Mama,
What's him?
Mama said I had to find a bunny for dinner.
Whoa. Whoa, it was like he was really here. That was incredible.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear my my Peter Puma?
Do you know I almost asked you to do a Peter Puma?
Here it goes. Hi, Mr. Bunny! It's me, Peter Puma! I love to go bowling in the bowling episode of... I'm in the Looney Tunes show a lot for some reason. It's become Vector.
Yeah, they really like that guy, the Looney Tunes show. Okay, give me one. Let me do one.
All right, can you do, one of the Goofy Gophers? Either one.
Oh, God. Oh, Mac, it's me, your best friend.
All right, you're doing the Rob Paulson one, I can tell.
Yeah.
And then I'll do the other one. It's like, gee, Smartosh.
Let's go bowling.
I love to go bowling.
This is awful.
No, this is great.
Okay, well, till next time. We will be watching more of these.
Yes.
And and we'll be doing more.
We'll be doing way more.
That's all, folks.